Hey guys, welcome back to this content or other content. You will say that maybe this content this is just going flying off. Anyways, I have been taking some time doing some Reddit videos, and I'm still thinking this word entitled. Someone who's just have this opportunity, to take. So they think that they're so smart, they just want it all. They really want it all because it's their fault that they're not doing their job or anything like this going on like that. So today I'm going back to the Reddit called r slash entitled parents. So this is definitely the third r slash entitled parents. The last two you won't see my face yet at all. So this time you're not gonna see my face, and now you're gonna see me reading through this, and there's gonna be some share screen. I'm gonna pick 5 stories, just 5. Okay, that's it. All right, let's go. Okay, so first one. This is the first one that I see here, and this is gets a little attention. Okay, all right, here we go. Angry mom trying to get me fired because I was too young to work there. Okay, and it's just a very few stories. It's not a whole story. It's just a very short story. Okay, here goes. At the job, I used to work at Let You Work at 14. I was an ice cream slash burger fast food restaurant. So it was an ice cream burger and fries. Okay. So after 8th grade, I got my work permit and applied. Got hired and started working. For the first 3 weeks, it was really fun. Went with coworkers to see movies and just had fun for a retail job. But after my 3rd month there, I was on the second register serving ice cream, and I was serving EM and her son. After I'm done making their cone, and the son comes and asks how old I was. At the time that I looked like a 12-year-old girl. I told AK that I was 14 with a work permit. He was fascinated by how young I was working, but his mom was very pissed about it, and she didn't bite. She told me, so you're too young to work. You shouldn't be here till you were 16. Where's your manager? You can't fire, young lady. After a whole restaurant hearing her yell at my boss, After a whole restaurant hearing her yelling, my boss came and said, ma'am, Opie working here is perfectly fine. He has his work permit and is on the strict child labor law. After all that, the EM and her kid left, and me and my coworkers and boss laughed about it and got back to work. That's just that little heavy little start. The entitled mom thought that this 14-year-old, you're too young to work at it. She is expecting for this OP, to be age 16, right? 16 years old. Anybody can do that. Well, I mean, if you see in summer youth for now, they are very eligible. You can work too, around like 14. So yeah, I've seen a lot of 14 years old who are very eligible there. I started a summer job. I already told you about this. I do have a summer job. When I was around 19 years old, yeah, I was around 19 going on 20 years old. I was still in community college back then, and I haven't been out of work ever until I was 19 years old. So guess what? I mean, you could still wait there, but if you want to work as early as possible, as soon as you have that work permit, you'll be fine. There's no fine. You're okay. If you're working around here 14 years old, 15 years old, 14 years old, 15 years old, you're still okay. I've seen a lot of teenagers work at their early age, their teens, and they make money because they want to make money at an early age. Because hey, you got to start somewhere. If you start real early, then you have as much experience, you have money that you're going to start with. You're probably going to save that money for your tuition. Good thing, right? It's a really good thing. Yeah, but she just want her to be in that job until she's 16. But no, that's not how it works. I mean, she work, but all by herself. But she has a learner's permit. She has a work permit. She can work anywhere. And it's nothing much there. It's just a very one whole little story here. Okay, let's move on to something else. Angry dad mad about son's dentist costs. Okay, mad about the dentist costs. What can go here? Okay, A little bit of background. I was recently at a dentist appointment and saw a dad with his about six-ish year old son. It was paying for the checkup, and the cost was about 750 because the son had bad cavities. I didn't do anything in the interaction, but I felt bad with the cashier lady. All right, on to the story. ED is a child dad, C is cashier. Okay, what is it? All right, you have to pay $750 in federal in dental fees. No, I was told it'd be only 300. Well, you switched to new insurance would cancel out the other one. No, I sell both my wife, which is the primary, and mine, which I just added today to help with cost. Well, since you added your insurance, it became your son's primary, and we take the money out of that. That's BS. You don't pay half of what my wife's insurance does. I'm sorry, sir. It's company policy. I had nothing to do with it. Please calm down. Just give me a discount. My son is special. I'm pretty sure we both know I can't do that. I want to see your boss. I'm sorry, sir. He's not here right now. But you can come back tomorrow when he's here. But you have to pay before you leave. I then left, but I saw cops pulling up to the place where I was leaving. I guess somebody called the police. Hmm. Yeah. Then it's cause if you have no insurance at all, you probably have to notify. You always have to pick the right insurance. Your right health insurance because it really saves your thing. You don't have to pay anything. Because in America, we do have to pay insurance, sadly. But luckily, I do have my health insurance. Okay, I wanted to know. I have to. Well, a couple of months ago, I finally have done that. I just had to start doing cleaning my teeth. Not a checkup, but I had to visually clean my teeth. It just covered my insurance, my pocket. I do have a, yeah, a current insurance. I'm not going to show you one, but yes, I do have a, those. I do have a, no, I forgot what. Well, yes, I do have a health insurance. It really covered the cost. No, doctor's appointment, and you also get a dental appointment too. So, so I have a new one, which is very far away. It's very close to the mall though. There, and I don't have to pay. And they told me to come back here for the fillings. And at first, it was very scary when I had to see this routine. And if I feel very uncomfortable, I was so uncomfortable when they did that. But they did it. At least they did it. Here, my teeth is feeling okay, but it's still. You see that here? It is some very yellowish here. But I feel so for the dad and his son that had to pay for the insurance. And he was really angry at it. And there's a cop car right there as soon as this opening. Ooh, someone called the cops. Yep, he's getting in trouble for it. All right, let's move on here. Entitled mother thinks it's perfectly fine to let their child destroy hours of work for what that I did. I saw another story that reminded me about this. It happened about 10 years ago. I work at a grocery store child care center, and we do all kinds of fun stuff with kids. Little parties, pizza parties, play GameCube with them, make crafts, story time. It was an absolute blast to work there, and I just adore all the kids as we get to know them from their parent shopping weekly. It was great, except for one mom. Let's just call her Jerk Face Mom Butt, or JFMB for short. We created this entire environment for fun for the kids from the time they walked up to get signed in until they left. It was winter, and we had built a fireplace for the kids to hang their stockings on that was on the outside window so parents can see what they had made while in the play place, along with a banner that announced a movie night that was hanging across the front of the sign-in area. Okay. So the kids would walk under it as their parents signed them in. It was up high enough for adults to walk under, not super high up. The two of our regulars came, girls ages 4 and 6, and as JFMB was signing them in, she got a phone call. So she pretty much ignored her girls. Both of them were jumping up trying to tap the banner, but one of them accidentally pulled it. Great kids. Honestly, I think it was an accident. And it tore a bit. I said, very nice as I knew these kids and they knew they were not butts. Okay. Hi, girls. Can you do me a big favor and not tap the banner? It looks like it might need a bit of fixing and might fall down. And JFMB slams her hand on the sign that to get to my attention. Still on the phone, now looking at her kids, and says, do not parent my children. I'm their mother. I will parent them. I told her to please do so as she worked very hard on the banner and didn't want to destroy it or for the kids to get hurt. She was not happy and turned around to tell the girls they were not going in today. They turned back and shot me an evil look with a smirk as she put her phone away. Both girls started crying. The mom was all, no, no, stop it. You're not going. Let's go shopping now. And grabs one of them, 6-year-old, by the arm and starts pulling her away. The other kid just lost it and had the biggest meltdown I had ever witnessed. And JFME grabbed her by the arm as well and told her to shut up. They were going home and she'll come back without them. Meanwhile, I'm just standing there watching in the floor like, what the heck, lady? Are you crazy? She now has both girls by the arms in that mom grip we all do and is going to drag them out. She turns back to me and says something to akin to, I hope you're happy that you caused this. And I guess she could read my face because I didn't say anything, but she got even madder. She dropped one of the kids' arms and started ripping stockings kids had made off of the fireplace and tossed them to the ground. At that point, I just called the front desk and told them that what was happening. They sent a manager over. JMV ended up getting her kids banned from the playplace for 3 months. It was all on camera. She never apologized. Still brought them once. Her ban was over. Jeez, is she really a crazy lady? This? Oh my goodness. I mean, we're supposed to do that, and then she's trying to parent them. She's not going to parent them. She just listen that don't destroy the banner because it will be very dangerous to ruin it for the other kids or something like that. That's just the point, okay? But don't let someone ruin that because she's very angry that OP parenting these two girls. They're just trying to not doing so. And now she's very mad. She ripped all them, won't on the ground. What a B word she is. Okay. A B word. If you didn't know something like that, she's a total B word. Why the heck she do that? Okay. And she never apologized. Oh yeah. That's Ender. Deal breaker, red flag, end that story. And then once their ban is over, they're just coming back and hopefully they're not doing this again. Because if they do, they are gonna be banned forever. Okay. So there will be on a no play zone, no playlist. No play list. So sorry. All right, this one again very short. Just a very, very short things. Okay, this is very short. In time one things she can tell me how I spend my money. This is very interesting. I'm 31, almost 32. I have a job. I pay bills on time. If I want to spend my extra money on things I enjoy, why the heck does she get any say? I don't even live with her or anything. I haven't lived with her in almost 10 years. I'm just really tired of her treating me like a baby just because I have disabilities. I'm capable of being a functional adult, can make her own financial decisions, and the fact that she proceeds to nag me about money on the phone when I told her to mind her own business. She hangs up and immediately blocked my number when I tried to call her back. Really says a lot about her maturity, not mine. I really wish she would just leave me the heck alone about what I do with my life. Yeah, if someone told me about how should I spend my money, I don't care, okay? You don't have a say in it. Mind your own business. Just shut up, okay? Shut up. You don't know how you finance like the way I finance it. So I finance my money differently than you did. So money differently than you financed it. So that definitely describes it. But if yeah, don't tell us what to do. We're not a child here. We're not baby. We're not even like kids, okay? I'm not your kid. Don't be saying anything about it. Don't you even try to say that is such a bum things ever here. All right, I wanted to get to the last one. I wanted to get a little very big just to end our note. Okay, ooh, this is gonna be very long. Last one is our restaurant's buffet is not your dinner plate, ma'am. Okay, so I'm not gonna put a TLDR here because that's just okay. I've heard a lot of stories from this sub, and the story I have today fits perfectly here. This story took place about a month ago and still makes me angry because the lack of care these parents had for their kids or even for the people around them. In fact, it didn't seem like they were entitled at all, but just oblivious. Okay, quick background. I work as a hostess in one of the main restaurants in a popular resort. We're the only restaurant on property that opens for breakfast, and although we use menus, we tend to run buffets when our occupancy is high enough to keep up the large crowd. The buffet pretty much has what you expect, like eggs, bacon, cereal, and pastries. We baked in-house and we usually run it from 6 to 11, or we will run out of food, which rarely happens. We tend to get rushes closer to 9 a.m. on most days. But on Sundays, when people are checking out, it can start early depending on what kind of guests we have. Obviously, just like any buffet, we have tongs and spoons to serve the food, and it's a self-serve system. It's like every single thing. I mean, I've seen a lot of hotels because I've been to so many hotels, and once we wake up in the morning, we just eat breakfast. So we went to this little canteen or cafeteria or restaurant, we would say. They serve breakfast, and it's a self-serve. Due to coronavirus, I've experienced this one. They let them serve you. No, they let them serve you some breakfast and stuff. I kind of off topic there, but that's what popping. Okay, all right. It was close to maybe 9 or 10 on a Sunday when the story happened, and I was the hostess for the day. We were starting to pick up in business at a time, but it wasn't going to be packed until the next hour or so. When the restaurant would start shifting to lunch, and the checkout time would begin in the lobby. I'm standing at the host desk arranging tables on the computer when I'm approached by our stars of the show. Three ladies, probably in their early to mid 30s, and their four sons, all around 7 or 8. The moment I start to greet them, the boys all run past me into the restaurant where they all start chasing each other around tables, chairs, and servers. I look at the ladies and internally sigh as I notice not one of them has noticed what was going on and were either talking to me or to each other. And immediately I knew this was going to be trouble. Oh, let's see how this is gonna go. Now, something you should know about me is that I can be somewhat of a goody two shoes. When I see people and kids misbehaving in any way, I get really frustrated and sometimes feel like it's my job to do something about it, even when it's not my place. I'm a little more understanding with children because, well, kids. Most kids don't learn the real meaning behind right and wrong until they're likely in the double digits. So I try to think that it's fine when the parents intervene. Another thing is that I have ADHD and tend to get easily emotional depending on specific circumstances. I can be easily excited, stressed, angry, or sad. If I let them run too much, then I often act on them, such as saying or doing something that wouldn't exactly be acceptable in various circumstances. It can be anywhere from being too loud, saying something personal in the heat of a moment, or revealing opinions that are better kept private than said out loud. And I was about to stay quiet and let things play out. In this moment, I couldn't help but say something. Excuse me, ma'am, can you call your kids back before they get hurt? I kid you not. It was like this one just woke up in a trance when I said this because her first response was, oh, right. And then she started calling the kids to come back as I took them to a table. I know it wasn't my place, but a part of me thought that maybe bringing attention to the situation would make things easier. Maybe the ladies would control their kids once they were inside the restaurant. Maybe I just had distracted them. About maybe they were just tired. I was wrong. As the hour continued, the restaurant started filling up a lot more, meaning more people walking around the restaurant. I was busy for a while, so I didn't really pay attention to the ladies' table until about half an hour had passed, and by that point, the boys were right back to the treating the restaurant like a playground and had added a game of catch to their list of activities. They said they'd be having a lot of fun throwing a large stuffed animal in the air with all their strength without paying much attention to the fully occupied tables they were inches away from hitting. There was one man in particular, an elderly fellow, who was inches away from being hit by the toy multiple times. He was not oblivious to this fact, and I noticed relatively quickly that he was glaring at me a few times since I was busy and had given it to the server already. There wasn't much I could do at the moment, nor could their server. I just kind of hoped it stopped before it get worse, but it took way too long for it to. Okay, so this is particularly how, and because these kids, they like to run around places, No, they just wanted to be active because kids are very hyperactive. They just wanted to, go some places and have fun and play catch with the stuffed animals they have, you know. But be mindful, this is a restaurant, not a playground. Okay, it is not a playground. If you want to do a playground, you can go to any other resort. You can go to like a beach or a, yeah, beach is more appropriate, or any playground if there's one, or go outside. Any of those options. Okay, that's it. Right? And then there was 11, and for the first time I ever seen, we had to close down because some of the stations were out of food. It was definitely a busy day for sure. As usual, we started informing guests about last calls to start transiting to lunch and get ready with food. By this point, the boys had stopped playing around, and I noticed one of the ladies with her son in tow was filling a to-go container with pastries to take with her. This wasn't a bad thing since the food was going to be tossed at the end anyway, but I did notice something else. The woman, tongs in hand, picked up one of the pastries from the station and started to feed her child with our tongs. Oh, whoa. I just stood there in complete shock, wondering if I'd seen that right as she, without hesitation, turned back to the station and put the tongs back. There was no flinching, scolding, or even any attempt to call over a staff member to replace the tongs. She just walked away. That's when I pretty much snapped and went to a full-on happy singer. Okay, no, okay, she's picking up one of the pastries, right? And then feeding her child with the tongs on it. Ma'am, you're gonna get someone's gonna get sick for this, unless unless you have unless you have a corona on you, unless you have a virus on you. That's a troublesome, and they might probably close down that restaurant because that is so dangerous. Okay, that is a very dangerous. It's a public. Okay. All right. I quickly charged over to the station and grabbed the tongs before ducking into the kitchen, where a few of my coworkers were. I didn't say anything to the woman at all, but I did say something to my coworkers. I exploded. It wasn't my proudest moment, and I could have controlled myself better, but I just couldn't keep it in at that point. I just unloaded how angry I was at that a person, a grown woman, could do something like that while my coworkers were stunned. They had known about the table's behavior the whole morning and had told me to ignore it, but none of them expected this to happen at all. However, I'll admit that in the moment, I was likely way too loud. When I turned to leave, the thought that my voice might have reached the restaurant sunk in. I was embarrassed, but I was still really angry. As I placed a new set of tongs at the buffet, I heard someone next to me say, "I'm sorry about that." I didn't look to see who exactly it was. If it was the woman, her friends, or just a sympathetic witness, I just replied, rather curtly and without making eye contact, that it was not okay to do something like that, especially since we're still hot off the heels of the pandemic at the time. Heck, our workplace only lifted the mask mandate for that month after a handful of employees came back from quarantine. Couldn't me, by the way. Again, see, told you. I freaking told you. Using the tongs, grabbing the pastry and feeding her child with the tongue on it. My gal, my gal, you have a virus on you, so that could be a problem. I fairly remember saying more, maybe even being a little more mean, but that was the gist of it. Again, it was wrong to be angry, but dang it, you expect grown people to act better than that, especially when they're in front of kids. They're kids. Not to mention, I feel like I've personally been punished for doing something like that when I was probably 5 years old. It's just not appropriate at all, and not something I expect from even the most entitled parents I've read. Regardless, they ended up paying and leaving not long after, and as the crowd died down significantly, I apologize profusely to my coworkers about being so angry and acting out on them. Ugh, I mean, I really feel so bad that you have an ADHD and you have to go sort through all that stuff. Really, that sucks. I'm not defending my actions. If I could do that all again, I would in a heartbeat. Surprisingly, a lot of my coworkers actually agreed that what I did and said were justified. In fact, one even said that the woman deserved a taste of humility, and maybe we should learn from that. And replacing the tongs then and there was a good call. For those who might be curious, I made a personal apology to the server as well, who laughed and said that she didn't care, that she would have done the same thing too. She, of course, didn't get a tip, but she said it wasn't a surprise because those ladies were jerks to her from the start. Mhm. Please, please, please don't treat a buffet like your personal plate. And also, to that random gentleman who almost got hit in the head by a stray Spider-Man doll, thanks for being patient, and I hope you end up having a good day. Okay. All right. Too long did I read. I watched four boys cause chaos in our restaurant lobby while their moms ignored them. One of the ladies used our public buffet tongs to feed their kid before putting them back, and I probably and intentionally embarrassed her by revealing it to my coworkers within earshot. Wow. Let that sink in. This one. I mean, buffet, right? It's a public place. This is not your own personal buffet, okay? It's not your dinner plate or anything like that. That's not the kitchen. The place right there in the buffet, that's not your kitchen, okay? If you want to use their tongs, then use that at home. If you have your tongs, perfect. Use that at home, okay? It'll be better for you to use that one at home, but not in a public buffet. Are you serious? Someone's gonna get sick for that, okay? All right. Someone is going to get sick for that unless that woman has some virus on her. Okay, they could get infected, and that can be a problematic. Okay, I know mask mandate was lifted there, but we still have to be safe. Okay, coronavirus has been going through a lot. They just went down on us for 2 years. 2 years that the coronavirus hit us. And we're trying to be as safe as possible so that we don't want the germ in there, and it could be very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. This kind of relates to that one. But if you have like if you have like a complete anger on you, just calm down. Find some inner peace for yourself, okay? Just walk outside and get all the anger out before you come back and do so. I know it's gonna be very weird and all, but I know you just control your emotions, okay? You have to control your emotions. You don't want to let your control getting out of hand and you're not knowing what to do and all that stuff there. But yeah, be careful. All right, that is the end of that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Entitled Parents. Well, hope you have as much fun as I do in reading through all of this stuff and probably learn that lesson from them. Maybe. All right, guys. Goodbye.